Wow. So Christian Pulisic just signed for Chelsea. And we got to talk about it. Us American soccer fans here have got to talk about it. I got to talk about it. I'm excited to talk about it. But before we get started, guys, if you love American soccer and you want to see soccer get the respect it deserves in this country, then hit the subscribe button and be part of the change, because that's the whole goal of my channel, to grow soccer in America. So if you guys love soccer, hit the subscribe button and be part of the change, like I said again. So without further ado, let's talk about it, man. So Christian Pulisic, now officially a Chelsea player. He just completed a £64 million transfer to Chelsea from Dortmund. I'm not gonna calculate £64 from dollars. It's probably like 70 something dollars. I don't know, $70 million or whatever. Who cares? What's funny is that yesterday I posted a video about the 2019 soccer calendar for American soccer, which you guys can check out over here somewhere. And also, before I posted that video, I was thinking, should I post this video today, or should I make the video about Christian Pulisic possibly leaving Dortmund, and if I think he should leave Dortmund? And I'm so glad I didn't make a video of should I think Christian Pulisic should leave Dortmund, because he did. The next day, he would have left anyway the next day, regardless of what my video said. But what I was going to say in my video was, yes. But I was hoping, because there was kind of like two teams that were lurking around to see if Pulisic was going to be available. And that was Chelsea and Liverpool. Most likely more Chelsea than Liverpool were interested. But I was kind of hoping he'd go to Liverpool, because I support Liverpool, obviously. But whatever, he went to Chelsea, so now we got to deal with that. Let's talk about it. So first of all, I want to talk about whether or not I think it's a good idea for Pulisic and for Chelsea, and whether or not I think he's going to be successful there at Chelsea Soccer Club. So let's get started. All right, so maybe to many non-supporting MLS or American soccer fans out there, people who support maybe to the rest of the world, this may not seem like a big deal, but I feel like to Americans it's a big deal, because this is our wonder kid right now. He's so hyped up right now. He's got so much potential. He's got so much to look forward to. He's only 20 years old, mind you, and he's got all these he's gonna have all these accomplishments. He's been very successful with Dortmund. He's been pretty good with the national team. So everyone's just talking, hyping this kid up, and he's the real deal. When you watch him play, you see him, you're like, he really is the real deal. And it's a shame that he couldn't play in the World Cup, because I feel like that was probably the biggest test he ever would have had with the national team. But he gets tested pretty well day in and day out at Dortmund, and not so much recently, because recently at Dortmund he hasn't been in the starting 11. He's been on the bench mostly, and that's too because of this even younger kid than him, Jadon Sancho, the young Englishman, who's just lighting it up at Dortmund, lighting up the whole Bundesliga, taking everyone by storm. If you guys check, if you guys play FIFA and you check the FIFA ratings and stuff, he's got a bigger rating and way more potential than Pulisic. So this kid also seems like the real deal, and I know a lot of English fans out there, they're really supportive of this kid, and they're really they're hoping this kid doesn't flop like a lot of other wonder kids have flopped for many countries. But anyway, so a lot of people were thinking that Pulisic was going to leave anyway, because his kid kicked him out of the starting lineup. I mean, the kid's really good. Jadon Sancho is really good. You can't knock him down. He's really good. And so it's Pulisic. Maybe the manager of Dortmund just thinks that Sancho is a better fit for his system right now. They both play on the wings. So I don't know. So let's look at some stats of Christian Pulisic right now. I mean, I have an app called OneFootball, which a lot of FIFA YouTubers have recommended, and I was just it just looks like one of those soccer apps that are really lame. But I actually downloaded it the other day, and I was like, this is actually really cool. So you guys should totally check that out. I mean, they're not sponsoring me, because it's me, but totally guys check that out. OneFootball. So for the Bundesliga this season, Christian Pulisic so far has played 11 games out of 17 games, and he's only scored 1 goal and only assisted 2 goals. So that's very, very underwhelming, very different than what he was last year. And in the Champions League, he's played 5 games and only scored 1 goal, which I'll give him some credit. Champions League is a lot more harder to score in than your regular league. But okay, so now let's talk about where he's going to fit in at Chelsea, because Chelsea got some really world-class wingers, and the first world-class winger that you think of when you think about Chelsea is obviously their number 1, their number 10, Eden Hazard. So I've seen some people on Twitter when I saw this announcement earlier today, and I saw people on Twitter saying, "Oh no, he's Eden Hazard's replacement." Chelsea fans getting a little nervous because they know Eden Hazard was kind of, was rumored or to be moving to Real Madrid next summer. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think Eden Hazard's going to go. But if he does, so what? He's got another young talent in. Anyway, you got Eden Hazard, you got Willian who plays on the right. You've got, who else have they got? They've got Pedro, they've got Victor Moses. A lot of good wingers, but not maybe like super world class. And again, they're all those last three that I mentioned, those last three wingers, they're all pretty getting up there in age, either close to 30 or a little over 30. So they're getting up there in age. And Christian Pulisic, a young 20-year-old who has lots of potential, who can play on either side of the wings. He's kind of on both sides, left or right. So I think he'll fit in good. I mean, I don't think he'll be a starter right off the bat. I think he's going to just go from one bench, unfortunately, from Dortmund's bench to Chelsea's bench. But I think the more Chelsea plays him, the more and if he becomes if he plays good and starts assisting and scoring goals or just like playing well overall, then I think the manager will be like, you know what, this guy, if I give this guy more consistent starting games, he can actually, form into a really good player, and we'll keep him as a starter on the right. And then imagine that you have because Chelsea play in a 4-3-3 formation, so you got Eden Hazard on the left, and you've got Christian Pulisic on the right, supporting whatever striker they have, whether it's Morata or Giroud, whoever else that they decide to feed the balls through. And obviously with a 4-3-3 formation, those three on the front are very crucial because those two wingers that are on the wings are very crucial to their attack. So you need really good attackers, you need really good pacey, technically gifted attackers, I feel like. And I think Christian Pulisic fits that bill. He may not be world class yet. He's not Eden Hazard's level, or maybe not even Willian's level, but he will get there. And I feel like with more playing time, more consistent playing time, and more confidence in himself, and more confidence and backing from the team, manager, and fans, then he will reach that and he will be successful at Chelsea Club. He will help them be more successful, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's my thought on that. I think he's going to be okay there. I think Chelsea doesn't have a super abundance of world-class wingers, and I feel like that works in Christian Pulisic's favor. I feel like he can come in, get some sub games in, and then eventually start to become a starter if he starts to shine with the team. So that's that. And now let's talk about whether or not it's actually a good idea for Chelsea and for Pulisic to actually have this signing happen. The first thing I think about is Chelsea and their team. Like I said, a lot of the wingers are getting up there in age, and they're looking to maybe sign another younger winger who could eventually take over the reins of the Willian and Pedro and Victor Moses stuff. And I feel like Christian Pulisic, again, fits that bill. I think he'll do well. I think that's a good choice to pick. He's only 20 years old. Again, like I said, 20 years old. At 20 years old, I was I don't know. I think I was working at Dunkin' Donuts at that time. No. I was working... No, I don't know where I was working. Cold Stone. I was working at Cold Stone. Cold Stone Creamery. But that's not important. Look, Christian Pulisic is a young, upcoming wonder kid, and eventually, hopefully, a world-class player in the future. And on top of that, he's an American. So, that's... I feel like I've seen someone post this on Twitter, and if I could find the tweet, I'll post it on here somewhere. But if I don't, I'm sorry. And credit to that person. If you're watching this, this is because you said this. This is mine. Not yours. This is your idea that I'm expressing, that I saw that I think is actually a good idea. But, Christian Pulisic is an American. And again, young Americans with good talent, especially in sports, are easily marketable. They can obviously, get media attention, get, just advertisement. Advertisers are going to love that. American advertisers like ESPN, Fox Sports, they're all going to love it because they have an American kid who was a wonder kid who's going to play for a big soccer team in Europe, with more exposure than Dortmund gets, unfortunately, because, first of all, it's the Premier League. Premier League is one of the most watched leagues around the world, especially in America. So having an American on the front lines of that advertisement for Chelsea and for the Premier League will work out for Chelsea, work out for the Premier League, and hopefully work out for Christian Pulisic. Now, that can also backfire because he can have all this advertising being the number one American player ever, or blah, 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 whatever they decide to do. And that could backfire and give him, maybe make him, nervous, or, hopefully, nervous that he won't live up to that potential or to that status. But I feel like this kid is, really cool under pressure. I feel like he's going to succeed. Like I said, I feel like he's going to reach his potential, reach that world-class potential and, be the first actual world-class player that American soccer needed and never had, and I think Christian Pulisic is the real deal, like I keep saying. So yeah, all in all, I think, again, it's to be a short video because I didn't expect to record today, but whatever, who cares? Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a good idea for Christian Pulisic to move to another team and like a big team right now. So that's good for him. I think he'll fit in at the club. I think he'll start on the bench. Obviously, he's not gonna have a starter, and he'll eventually become a good player if he gets some, like I said, a consistent support, consistent games, consistent goal scoring. I think he'll become a good player for Chelsea. And if Eden Hazard leaves, so what? Maybe Christian Pulisic will be world class by then, and then he'll take over the left wing and have someone else playing the right wing, or they just buy whatever. Yeah, and for Chelsea, I think it's, like I said, a good signing for them, good signing for the Premier League, good signing for Christian Pulisic. I just hope, Christian Pulisic, that you succeed. I hope you give it your all. I hope you show the world that American Wonder Kids are true. Like, they're not all gonna flop. All right, they're not like all Julian Greens. Okay, sorry, Julian Green. But like, show the world that you're the real deal. Show the world that you're an American. Show the world that American soccer is not a joke. American soccer will be big one day, and it's gonna start with you, hopefully. So, please, bro, please be successful there. And anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about Christian Pulisic moving to Chelsea. You think it was a good idea or not? Let me know down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow your boy Drew on all these social media sites, and I'll see you guys next time.